Well, we're back to the gridiron again with Fairmont High School football, this time taking on Centerville. And arch rival as well, sort of like culture, I guess, in a way. But since we didn't speak last week, let's touch briefly on the Trotwood game, specifically senior Jack Probasco, who had an interception return for a touchdown and a team-leading 12 tackles. How has his career progress gone since his name we really haven't touched on in past years?
Uh, he's done pretty well, considering he didn't come out his sophomore year. He's making up for some lost time. He progressively got better last year as a junior. And, he's got a knack for, I think in JV, he intercepted and had pick sixes, I think maybe 4 games or something like that, So he just has a knack for sitting out there in the flat, and he does a good job with that. So pass coverage is definitely one of his strengths. So he's done a great job. Yeah.
Okay, coming out of the first half with 27 points, but none in the second half. How concerning was that in preparing for LaSalle?
Well, it was a concern. We talked about it. I mean, I don't know if we subconsciously took our foot off the pedal. I mean, they were good up front too. I mean, so a lot of that credit goes to them. I was more disappointed with our fourth quarter, to be honest. There was no scoring in the third quarter, but our defense, they drove down the field on a long drive against us, and our defense held on the goal line. And then we got the ball and got some first downs and completely flipped the field, made them punt. And then at that point, we just kind of, I don't know, we didn't do very well, we'll put it that way. And I think our kids knew it in the fourth quarter. But thought we played harder the next week, even though, it was a loss. I thought overall we, despite mistakes and things like that, I think we played a more complete game. So.
Okay, as for the LaSalle game, how troublesome was it to see the defense allow 332 total yards?
Well, they got some big plays on us, really. Despite those, you take those away. First drive, they kind of went down the field and chunked us there. But we calmed down, and I think in the fourth quarter, our defense really did a great job. They set us up in 2 situations where we had a chance to come down and win. I think I was more disappointed with our offense, honestly. We didn't respond very well. Me personally as a coach, I thought that was not a good half. So we have a lot of things to work on, but I think our kids are ready to do that and move forward. So you learn from those experiences.
What did LaSalle do to smother the offense other than Logan Doty's 100-yard game?
Well, first of all, they're pretty good. They've only given up going into the game. We watched, a scrimmage against Fairfield where I think they only gave up 10 points. Only 7 points to Coleraine, and then Northmont, who can score points with anybody, they only gave up 6 or 7 to them. So we knew going in they were going to be, pretty stout, well coached. They're pretty good against us. In the past 3 years, we beat them 10-7 at our place or 10-3, I think in 22. A year ago we only scored 7 down there, and then this year, so they're good defensively. But I think we sabotaged ourselves in some ways collectively. Me starting with me, and we just have to do a better job. Up front on with our offensive line and picking up linebackers and things like that. Just things that we do that we normally do pretty well. They kind of exploited us a little bit and had a good scheme, but I think we'll be better for it, honestly.
I noticed that LaSalle was playing a lot of hurry-up, no-huddle type formations, and I don't know if that's how they normally play, because I noticed one of the time the LaSalle side was not happy with the chains not moving as fast as they wanted them.
Right. Yeah, I think that's part of their MO, at certain times, and I think, the up-tempo teams tend to do that. So I think, I remember them being pretty upset that our guys didn't get down there, but that's kind of a norm for them, I think, for the most part.
As for the Centerville game, what are your impressions of quarterback Shane Cole, who has struggled, passing for only 253 yards in 3 games?
He gets better each week, and the 2 opponents they played were as good as they get. That team from Carmel is loaded with talent. And then St. Xavier, so they played 2 very quality opponents, and I watched him and I thought he played pretty well. Overall, he's a really good runner and good passer as well. I think he has the complete package. And like I said, I just think each week, he's learning. It's his first year starting, so like a lot of quarterbacks, when it's their first year starting, they have to learn. So I see him progressing, and he's a good quarterback.
Defensively, the Elks have given up an average of 33 points per game. Do you see anything there you can take advantage of?
If we can borrow some of those kids from Carmel, that definitely helps. I mean, they got some big plays on them. Same thing with St. Xavier. They're good on defense. Coach Puckett does a great job getting those kids prepared, and especially for us, they do a good job against us. They're aggressive. They come after you, and their kids play really hard. So it's pretty impressive to watch that. And you got it. Those scores are so deceiving. A lot of people, the average person's looking at that and go, "Oh, they got blown out." Watch the game, and understand who they're playing against. Number one. And then number two, they didn't get blown out. They played, right with them. Both opponents really when it comes down to it. So they're pretty good. I think, and like I said, not only the quarterback is improving, but their team is improving. Despite the fact that they're playing a monster schedule. These last 2 weeks. So it's going to be a classic. We've gone toe to toe with them. They've gotten the better of us the last 4 years, but they're always close games and come down the last couple possessions and. We just have to get better. That's kind of our thing over here. So if we focus on that, then we got a good shot. If we don't, then that won't turn out so well.
So now with playing Centerville this week, you get into the GWalk schedule. Is there any difference on how that makes as far as strategy or what you anticipate coming at you?
No, I mean, we know each other really well. It's like we this year 8, year 9, whatever it is for us over here. So there's no surprises. It's like they know what we do, we know what they do, and it's just a matter of who makes plays, who executes better. And like I said, the last 4 years, that's been them. So credit to them. They're very well coached. They're the defending champions, so there's a lot of pride involved in that. And I know Coach Aller will have them ready. So work's cut out for us, but it's cool. I mean, like the Alter game, that these are really, if you're a high school football player, what more could you ask for? What a way to start the GWalk play too. So.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you again for taking time to speak with me today, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you, Norm.
I am with Centerville Elks head coach Brett Ullery, and we are in their meeting room. A little bit of the logo in the back gives us a little different view than in the field and out of the wind and sun. Coming off 9-3 season, how difficult has it been replacing an experienced quarterback in Drake Wells?
Yeah, Drake was he's a team captain, and leadership is harder to replace than skill. And Drake was a great leader for us and did a great job. But he also ran the offense, and what he did best was he kind of read our minds as coaches and knew what we wanted when we call certain plays and everything. And that's hard to replace. That chemistry is hard to replace with an offensive staff and with the new offensive players and everything. So our current quarterback Shane Cole is doing a great job. He's learning every week. He's right about where Drake was in his first year of starting, and even before that, where Chase Harrison was in his first year of starting. So Shane's coming along really well. He's getting better each day, each week. So we're really proud of what he's done so far.
Parker Johnson has had a pair of 100-yard rushing games. Can you give us an indication of the type of rusher he is?
He's the type of rusher he is the type of person that he is, and he's strong, he's convictive, and he's consistent. The guy doesn't miss days of practice. He doesn't miss off-season lifts, works extremely hard and pushes himself. And then when the ball's in his hand, that's what he's going to do because he doesn't know any other way. So he's always looking for ways to improve his craft and for ways to open up and help out the offense. But, what he does on Friday night is not a surprise to anyone around here.
Okay, you're going to help me with this next player's name, right? It's Quincy
Caponia.
Caponia. Okay, I wouldn't have around that right. Okay, he's a top receiver at 6'4". What have been the keys to his success?
He's extremely gifted talent-wise, you know, he's fast, he's tall, he's strong, he's got really good hands and everything, and he uses those the way you're supposed to be. But you know, where we're seeing the most improvement out of him is in his humility. You know, we've challenged him a few weeks ago to you got to improve some of these different areas of your game, and he's taken it like a humble football player and said, okay, I'm compelled to improve. I'm going to get better, and he is getting better each week. So he offers a lot to the offense. He can run short routes, deep routes. He's getting better at blocking. So when you become a well-rounded receiver, it's hard to hide you from the defense.
Talking offense, I have to ask about your kicker success, and that would be Leland Gans.
Yeah, Leland, he does a great job. He's a huge leg. He's very confident. We're very confident in him. You know, he comes from a line of kickers. His older brother was a kicker at UC and NIU for a little bit there, and you know, he knows what he's doing out there, and we know that when he's out there, we're going to get the best out of him. He's extremely competitive and extremely confident in himself, and you know, that exudes confidence into the coaching staff and into the team.
There have been struggles defensively. What has led to giving up 33 points a game?
You know, that's simple. Usually if you find bad defense, right next to it, or right in front of it, I should say, is bad offense. And our offense has not done a good job of putting our defense in good positions. You know, turning the ball over with short fields and 3 and outs and starting the game slow. You know, I don't want to say I don't blame the defense, because they take extreme ownership over their craft, but the offense hasn't done anything to help out. And when that's happening, you see tough games and tough halves and stuff like we've experienced. So it's not all on them. You know, we got to do our part on offense, and we got to do our part in special teams. And you know, when you start to do those things, the defense will come along.
So last year you shut down Fairmont. What do you see different about them this year?
They're doing some nice things in the run game. They're reading a little bit more than they have in the past, which is, you know, is awesome to see. You know, as a triple option fan that I am, I love seeing it. They're a much more diverse team, and you know, they're still coming off the ball physical. They still finish through plays and through the end of the whistle. They still fall forward when they run the ball, and they still control the football game. So they do a lot of really nice things that pop out on film, and you know, we're excited to see them on Friday night.
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Dave Miller earlier this week. You're starting out your G-Walk season, and one thing Dave said, we all know what each other's do. He said we've been doing it for a long time. With that in mind, you all know what the other guys are going to do. How do you work around that? Because they're going to know what you do as well.
Oh, they're definitely well coached over there, and they will definitely know what we're going to do and what we're trying to do. And you know, hats off to them. But I just responded to that question actually yesterday as well. I think that's what makes our conference great, because iron sharpens iron, and Fairmont makes the teams in our conference better, because you have to be at the top of your game to beat them. So you know, we heighten our preparation, we heighten our intensity and everything, and we know that G-Walk play is starting, and it's full of good teams, really good teams, and Fairmont's one of them. So you know, we're excited for this long ride, you know, 1 week at a time.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, and good luck to you Friday night.
Thank you. Thank you.